What is going on, YouTube? Another day at Buc-ee's here in Melissa, Texas. I stopped here because I'm sending a buddy of mine some beef jerky. He wanted some beef jerky, and I'm sending him some. Today, it is Friday as I'm recording this video, and this place is packed. Yeah, these places get really, really busy during the weekend. People heading out of town, want to fill up, get some beef jerky, whatever. So today I want to talk about a story that I did on my other channel last year. And that story is of the 14-year-old kid, Tyree Sampson. If you don't remember his story or don't know his story, he's the one that went with his high school team down from Missouri. He lived in St. Louis to Florida to the Icon Park. He's the one that died on that drop down ride. So on March 24th, Tyree and his team were at Icon Park, like I was saying. It's kind of like a sort of an amusement park. There's no admission to get in on those rides. You could just walk right on in. It doesn't really matter. And then you basically pay to ride the rides instead of paying admission to go to the park. So if you don't know, Tyree was a very, very big dude. He played football, I believe, for his middle school or his junior high school or whatever. So this guy, I want to say he was about 6'5", and according to the autopsy report, he weighed 383 pounds. So in hindsight, he should have never been allowed to go on that ride. So tickets for the ride were $35. It's described by the ride's operators as the world's tallest freestanding drop tower. The ride is 400 feet tall. It just pretty much sends you up, and then it drops you, and then the ride, it breaks at about 100 feet to the ground. Now, when this kid was in line buying the tickets, he had been refused entry to other rides at the park. But for some other reason, I don't know, the person who was operating the ride that day, that was only his third day operating the ride at work, and he was only 14 years old himself, I believe. He could have been 16, but he was very, very young. He was definitely under 18 from what I remember. So Tyree goes to sit down. Now, as you can see, like in the video and the pictures, the harness that goes over your shoulders to lock in place wasn't totally 100% over his shoulders and his chest. So anybody that's operating the ride should have clearly seen that he was not secured in there properly, but yet they still let him on. Even though the other rides didn't let him on because he was over the weight limit. The weight limit of the ride, says online, is 287 pounds. So he would have exceeded the weight limit by almost 100 pounds. So he goes on the ride, he goes up. And what is this?
Animal cookies.
Animal cookies? Oh, don't mind if I do. Thank you. He goes up in the ride. And then as the ride is going up, and I watched the video and I regret watching it, it's pretty bad. So as it drops down, and as the ride breaks at about 100 feet over the ground, he slips out of the harness, and you could just hear his body. It sounded like a smack hitting the ground. And it was a pretty bad video. He was taken, of course, to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. And during the autopsy, it just stated that he died of a blunt force trauma. Well, the reason why I'm talking about this story today is because the family of Tyree Sampson has reached a settlement with Icon Park and the ride's owner-operator, Eagle Drop Slingshot. Now, Icon Park owns the land where the quote-unquote amusement park is at. They don't own the ride. So they just let people with that own rides themselves bring the ride there, and then basically pay them rent. So they settled with Icon Park. They settled with the ride's owner, Eagle Drop Slingshot. Now they still have to settle with the manufacturer of the ride, which is a foreign company. They're called Gertzlauer Amusement Rides. I believe, sounds like they're based out of Germany. I could be wrong. Let me try some of these animal cookies real quick. Hang on. Well, they definitely taste like animal cookies, that's for sure. So anyways, what were we talking about again? Oh yeah. So here's what it is. The attorney, Ben Crump, mother hired him, and they settled with the company, and currently the ride, I believe it's already been dismantled. Now, they're not going to melt it down. They're probably either going to move the ride over to another amusement park, or they're going to sell it to somebody. But that ride will be used again. It looks like through the report of how this happened, well, number one, Tyree was too heavy to be riding the ride in the first place. Number two, there was a malfunction in the ride, because when the harness goes around you to secure it, there's a light that turns on. So even though the light was on, indicating that Tyree Sampson was secured, he really wasn't. So that light should not have gone on, and he should not have been allowed to go on that ride. So, very, very sad case. He was that was a big kid, man. Like, you could tell, like, he was probably gonna play at least some kind of small college football, depending on how good he was athletically. Very tragic case. He shouldn't have been allowed to even get on the ride. You know what I mean? I'm also curious as to see, how much do you guys think that the family got? Now, usually when you have these settlements, there's sometimes a non-disclosure agreement where you don't. It depends on the state. Now, I think Florida, I don't think there's a law stating that you cannot stay, you can't state how much you received. Hey, I'm ready to order. Could I get, are they ready to order? Let's get it. 4 ounces of garlic bohemian. 4 ounces of garlic bohemian. And I want some other stuff too. Yeah, we don't got time to wait for people to order. I'm ready to get out of here now. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end the video. I'm getting some beef jerky. I don't know about y'all, but leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me how much you think that the family received as a settlement. I'm going to guess they got about, I'm guessing, I want to say in the high end 20 million. I'm going to say they got $20 million. I don't know. You let me know. Tell me how much you think they got, and all that good stuff. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Get my beef jerky, hitting the road. Catch up with you later. Have a good one. Peace out. And then I want